Thank God that our examples are dishwashers and washing machines and not Terminators. The first instance I read this, making some machines, I was like, oh gosh, are we mass producing Terminators? I can safely say that science has definitely helped IELTS Juice's career life a lot, because thanks to technology, we can deliver quizzes, lessons, video lessons, courses, anything our IELTS candidates need for the IELTS preparation course or the period that they try to prepare for the test of IELTS at their homes, at the comfort of their homes. And we can help them, support them from anywhere on the planet. And definitely we are thankful for that. But that's just one side of science. What about the other aspects? Science is a large, a very generic term. What about astronomy? What about biology or medicine or oceanography? What about physics? What about quantum physics, mathematics, chemistry? I'm sure I'm missing out other scientific fields and elements, but come on. This is just one aspect that I can speak from experience and tell you that has definitely helped IELTS Juice. That, as you already guessed, is the topic for today's video. We're going to assess and score an essay. Welcome to IELTS Juice. The rubric says, the most important aim of science should be to improve people's lives. Oh, okay. Do not overlook some elements here. Let me go through them. 1. The most important aim. So we have other goals for science, but the highest goal is to help people have a better lifestyle or have a better life. Is it number one? Is it the first one? IELTS is presenting us with a linear mindset. Like there's first and then second and then third and then fourth. There are levels. Is it that way or not? This is exactly where IELTS wants us to think and also deliver our answers. Then it says of science should be. This should be here means it's better, but you've got to start thinking about it seriously. That is the meaning of should be here. You should be like this. Not in a very affirmative way, of course, but the most important aim of science should be to improve people's lives. Really, is it better to help people have a better lifestyle? Well, yes, obviously. And improve people's lives, okay, but why it's not the case? When you look at the world, the science is available. Is everybody right now taking advantage of that? Like, I don't know, people in rural areas, are they using the highest, the best, the most sophisticated medical services that they can get? Or for that, they have to still travel and go to major cities, maybe capital cities? Maybe yes, maybe not. We don't know. That's our decision. But I want you to pay attention. Although this topic is very short, we still need to understand its elements. And then it says people's lives. It's not limited to a certain group. We're not talking about young adults or women, men, children, senior citizens, people, everybody. So yes, science is helpful for everybody, but in its own right, you know, and in their own field. That's important. So knowing these elements and taking these, elements from the rubric and keeping them in our heads is what we also need to do, even for short rubrics like this. And the essay type says, to what extent do you agree or disagree with the statement? Now, IELTS wants us to say whether we agree or disagree with it. Easy, right? Well, looks easy. Let's get into the candidate's response and see how easy it is. One of the most important goals of science is to improve people's lives. Very generic term. That's actually correct, but I have an issue here. To improve people's lives. To improve people's lives. Exactly the same as the rubric. Now, what happens is that these 4 words will be completely ignored by the assessor or marker. They will not look at them. They will not be counted towards your word count. And it affects the range of vocabulary and the range of, not grammar, because it's not that many, but it affects the range of vocabulary for sure. So this is already bad. This is already not good. It shouldn't be like this. We must never copy words from the rubric. If we have to, just maybe 1 or 2 words, because if it gets to 3 words, then we're starting to understand the negativity of that, because the IELTS will actually penalize you for that. And the way the IELTS penalizes you is exactly what I explained. Okay, let's continue. Science has a great impact on the advancement of technology and health. All right. We're looking at science as something separate from technology and health, so, which is correct. It's also another way of looking at it. But these are very generic terms. Science, technology, what technology? Health, which element of health? I agree that science is concerned with making people's lives better. Okay, it is concerned with making lives better, but I'm happy that the writer clearly says that he or she agrees with that. Cool, lovely, I'm happy with it. My issue is that this is a rather weak thesis statement. It's more like a generic sentence that you could use in the middle of the introduction. It's a little. We maybe could say which elements we can in the following paragraphs. What elements we are going to? What elements of science? Which type of science? Like developing nuclear bombs is also science. Is it really helping people to have better lives? That's the challenge here, because now we're considering everything. It's very generic. That's why I'm saying it's very weak. Yes, thesis statements should be generic, but generic for your essay, not generic as if it covers the entire topics and agendas about that certain article or anything that you are talking about on the planet, everything under one umbrella. That is not acceptable. So I don't like the thesis statement. It's not wrong, but it's not the best thesis statement we can come up with. Science has led to the advancement of technology and the construction of many practical devices. Again, generic. What practical devices? I like the topic sentence. It actually creates some questions in my head, but let's see. Making some machines, such as dishwasher and washing machines, has made life better. Good. Thank God that our examples are dishwashers and washing machines and not Terminators. The first instance I read this, making some machines, I was like, oh gosh, are we mass producing Terminators? But no, it wasn't that. For example, In the past, washing clothes was difficult because it had to be done by hand, and usually women who washed clothes felt pain in their hand and their health was endangered. Okay. May I suggest instead of this past simple grammar, we could use used to. That is a very, I mean, it's a fitting grammatical point here because it was something like that, but it is no longer that. So that would be a good grammar to use here, but it's not. The making of machines, I still have the picture of Terminator in my head. The making of machines made many tasks to be done easily and without problems, comma, and people could take care of their other tasks. Okay, we tend to be very generic, many tasks. Maybe we could still stay on women's hands, and now that they have extra time, they can maybe look after themselves, you know, have some therapy or get a masseuse to massage their hands, something like that. You know, like these days, the modern women, they look after themselves a lot better than women in the past. That we could stay on this topic and we could say this example, look, science has actually improved female life expectancy, female happiness, from a sociological point of view. I want to say that because we just generalize again. We just say people. Anyway, not good. Everything so far I have said is not an error, apart from that copy pasting words from the rubric. The others are just very generic. We are not getting into the topic. We're standing away from the topic. The examples are very good, but a little bit, it's cut short. Solving people's health problems became easier with the advancements of science. Another generic sentence, but let's see, it's a beautiful one. Health problems. What problems? Let's see. In the past, there were many health problems and many people lost their lives due to these issues. We still don't know what problem, what issue. For example, okay, now another good example. 100 years ago, when it was time for women to give birth, because there were no facilities, no medical facilities like clinics probably, or hospitals, they usually died. Oh, yes, yeah. During childbirth, yeah. Or because of the lack of vaccines, newborn children might not have survived. We need to refer our audience to the past. And due to diseases, not disaster, diseases after a while, and due to diseases after a while. Oh, it's all sad. But now due to, so many due tos, it's repetitive. But now due to good, I don't like good. I don't like the word good. Medical facilities and conditions. What about modern medical facilities, high-tech medical facilities, state-of-the-art medical facilities, sophisticated medical facilities? We just say good. And conditions. This does not happen. Okay. Again, used to is a very good grammar that we can use. It's a very good grammar. It's a very sophisticated grammar. It's a very practical one. It's a fitting grammatical point for this context, so that I don't repeat the word good a lot. But that's okay. In speaking, it's fine. In writing, when you have time, try not to come up with simple words like good, bad, better. Try to come up with a fitting word, a word that is suitable for that context. Good and bad can be used for speaking mostly, or in context that is really about something good or bad. In general, the progress of science has had a great impact on people's lives. Okay, we're just repeating. In general, yes. I mean, this is absolutely correct, because so far everything we have said was general, very generic. Examples are good. Explanations are not specific. Explanations are very generic. It's for everybody on the planet, every time, for every problem, every science. That needs to be a little more accurate and specific. The progress of science has had a great impact on people's lives. Science has made, we still don't know. We're just talking about science as this is somebody's name. We don't change it. We keep saying science, 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 science. We're not exploring the different aspects of science. Science has made life simpler, and by influencing medical science, it also affects health. I need a comma here. Regarding the effects of science, I agree that the most important goal of science is to make life better. We didn't talk how better, we didn't talk a lot of these things. So this is 250 words, but it's not. So it is below 250 because we cut 4 words out of it. So it's 246 words now. This is under length. And that means a lot of range in vocabulary and grammar goes down. Let's look at the band descriptors. This is what I'm talking about. The essay is under length. It is not 250. You can count 250 words, but you need to remove 4 words out of the word count. Once you do that, it's under length. Now you lose scores for vocabulary and grammar. That's clear. There are not many errors, but it doesn't get anywhere beyond 6. As for task response, the writer's opinion is very well addressed and is clear, and it's clear throughout. The problem is some of the ideas are very generic, not fully developed in the sense that it's rather unclear which element we're talking about, not specific, very specific. So 6, because we really needed to analyze our task carefully. It's very important that you take your time and just look at the rubric and analyze it thoroughly, completely. On that note, if you wish to see other assessments like this, you know where to click. Please consider subscribing up there, down below. And I hope I'll be assessing your essay, letter, or report next time. Take care.